Okay, welcome to Black Myth Wukong. Good old bit of Chinese mythology, bit of Journey to the West. So we're continuing. I'm still in Chapter 1, largely because I kinda suck at this game. But don't let that deter you from its quality, because this is quite good. Not perfect, but quite good. So I'm gonna use the shrine. These essentially function as bonfires. And I'm gonna go right back to the start of the game. And fight through a couple of early areas to kinda try and explain it as best I can. So the question on everyone's lips with this is it a Souls-like? Kind of. I've not gone to the right place. Oh no, I am in the right place. I just have no sense of direction. Now, is this game a Souls-like? Well, I've got lock-on, dodge, and stamina mechanics. However, it's got more in common with something like Sekiro. Because this is basically the only way I'm going to be fighting. I can bonk with stick, I can dodge, and I can do big bonk with stick. Not that there's anything wrong with the more streamlined approach. In some respects, I think this makes the game a lot more accessible. Yeah, you start right back here, so I want to push forward. And we have shrine, bonfire-y type things, but you don't drop your XP on death, so there's a little bit less tension there. I often think Souls-likes tend to hyperfixate on that when it really isn't that big a part of the experience. I'm quite pleased to see a game go without it. Really, this is an action game through and through. Think sort of action RPG, although the RPG elements are quite limited. Build variety is closer to something like The Witcher 3 than a Dark Souls or an Elden Ring. Now, I have been simplifying the combat a little bit. We do have spells. You're introduced to quite a selection of them at the start. But you start with Immobilize, and I've only managed to get one other, which is the first transformation. And this is where the first boss spawns, who is going to lull you into a false sense of security. He is really easy. The majority of this game is not. Now, I'm just going to keep fighting through because I know there's a boss I opted not to fight around here that I'm going to have a go at killing. He's probably going to squash me, but if you're interested in seeing me get eradicated, stick around. Now, there does seem to be a collectible sort of crafting mechanic. You can build armors and weapons and things, which make as much sense as you'd expect. You burst into poison. I really don't want to get poisoned. And you also seem to be able to change the effects on your gourd, although I haven't tinkered with that much. I'm not one for tinkering with potions in games normally. I'd probably find I'd have an easier time if I did it more. Maybe something to work on. Equally, it's an action game. I don't want to sit in the menus. Who'd I miss? Oh, there you are. So as you can see in the top right, I'm gradually gaining XP, which will cause me to level up eventually. And levelling up will give me access to skill trees, which we'll have a look at in a little bit. And I've got a hunch the boss I missed is just around this corner. Who most people say is one of the hardest early bosses. So there we go, Sparks, as I've earned an extra one. We hit pause and we go to self-advance, which is this. So this gives me various skill trees so I can improve my stun. Honestly, I don't find it that useful. This is improving my transformation. Again, I've not found these points that handy yet. And then over here we have damage, stamina, health and stamina, really useful. And just general abilities that buff my combat. And then we have the stances, which are over here and give me slightly different fighting styles. They're not that different. They just affect what charge attack. So pillar stance, you do the very classic monkey staff, climb up and overhead swing. It will demonstrate eventually. There we go. Or not. And you go over, you get sort of damage resistance and stuff while it's going on. And then thrust stance, which I've not unlocked yet, is just a long range poke. That strikes me as though it will be quite handy against certain bosses. But I'm not high enough level to get that. Anyway, I have been strongly advised that maxing health out early is a good move in this game. Being as I'm expecting this boss to stomp me, let's just... There's my checkpoint. We're just going to use here. So here I can rest, I can travel, I can self-advance, craft. So, weapons. Ah, well, this seems like a no-brainer. Upgrade from the basic staff. Brew, this is where I can do sort of interesting things to make my health have different effects. So, for example, I can buff my poison resistance. Apparently more useful than it sounds. And store, I haven't really found a use for stuff you buy from here. Seems to just be the odd sort of basic healing item, that healing and status items that I'm not that stressed by. And rest does exactly what you think it's going to do. Refills your healing, refills your health and stamina. And anyone I have bonked to death is alive again. So this game absolutely nails its aesthetic. The story has me marginally confused, but that journey to the West, Chinese mythology aesthetic is beautifully nailed here. And wallop. And over here... Oh, I think he's despawned. That's annoying, so it doesn't look like I can show that boss. Looks like I'm going to have to show one of the ones that's been giving me a little more trouble. I could have sworn I missed a boss here. Maybe he's despawned or something. Maybe I've done something to mess up the sequencing. Who knows? Anyway, we push on. And I will go, hopefully not fall off the edge by doing something stupid. Don't like ranged attackers in a game like this. So I have absolutely no ranged options. So if they're out of reach, I can do nothing. I'm pretty sure there was a checkpoint around here. Yes, there is. So let's go look at one of this game's highlights. Let's go travel to the secret boss in the first chapter that you get for ringing all 3 bells. Who I seem to have stumbled across completely by accident, but I'm told is a secret boss. Who has this nasty habit of one-shotting me, which is why I've been buffing my health. Anyway, so what we do, we come through here and it's this gold dude. Because he does things like that. And as you can see, that went well. So we shall prep myself for round 2. And this time maybe I'll give a transformation a go. So, there are 2 types of transformation in this game. The first one are just special attacks. Now this probably means I will poison him, because I have just summoned 2 snakes to poison him. And the second are these. Now this is a separate health bar. And a completely new moveset that I'm not completely familiar with. And it would seem I got dissolved again. I'm convinced I did better at this guy first time I fought him. Well, given that he is going horrendously, we shall take a wander to the other boss I've encountered. Now, unlike Dark Souls, you don't have ridiculous boss runs in this. The boss is going to be moments away from the checkpoint. They're not hard to get to. Now, this guy I'm pretty sure I've only tried to fight once, and I got him down to about half health, and then I'm not sure what he did, but I had no way of dealing with it.
Why so eager to die when you could walk away?
I really feel like I should have a block. My brain cannot get past not having a block. So your heavy attack tends to stun, which is quite useful. So as you can see, the perfect dodges kind of leave a bit of a decoy. And there is a skill later on that lets you detonate the decoy, which seems like it might be quite handy. Well, that was cheap.
Perhaps I can even grant you a title.
And he killed me. I kind of expected him to. Right, one more go and then we'll end the video. I'm not expecting to kill him while I'm recording, to be fair. Alright.
You challenge me without
Here we
even
go.
letting me have dinner.
I'm not sure what I've done to offend this guy, but he seems quite annoyed at me. So this just lets me be a little bit more reckless. Because I know I'm not using my sort of main health bar.
Still think you're rock solid.
And in he comes again. Have some snacks. Okay. And died. I had him on the ropes. As you can see, bosses are quite the cinematic experience. I am impressed. And everyone I've fought has been like that. They are learnable, but they take a while, probably longer than I'm going to record for. So yeah, Black Myth Wukong. The best excuse if ever one was needed to learn a bit more about Journey to the West. Although the story seems rather confusing. I'm led to believe this takes place after Journey to the West, is sort of almost a sequel after the opening. But yeah, overall pretty good. See you all next time.